And we're back, and the video might be a bit different quality. The audio might be a bit off, because when I got Windows 10, it kind of messed up my OBS settings, so I had to reset everything, and I don't remember what I set everything to. It was raining that day.
Isuka?
I turned to the dim and lit garage and called out, but there was no reply. Like noise, the sound of rain hitting the roof dulled my thoughts.
ないのか。
All I was waiting for me when I returned home was an empty garage and... a broken glider.
主翼が折れてる。それにボディも。
From the condition of the glider, I could easily imagine what had happened.
Isuka! Isuka!
Call out my best friend's name, but there's no reply. What could have possibly happened? Is Isuka alright? All kinds of ideas came up and spun around in my head. I searched the desk for anything that looked like a letter left behind, but I couldn't find anything. Instead...
写真がなくなってる。
that photo of the clouds was missing from the picture frame. A broken glider and an empty picture frame. Those are the only traces left behind. At the time, I didn't give it much thought. It's because even more than that, there was something else that I really had to worry about.
Isuka!
I rushed out of the garage to look for Isuka. Outside was the dreaded rain that seemed to follow me around everywhere. Never even thought that I wouldn't be able to see Isuka again. When I realized that, my world lost its color again. Now my nose is all stuffy. Well, one side of my nose is all stuffy as soon as I start recording. That's nice. Just as forecast, rain the next day. The ever-present miserable rain.
あまねちゃん、どう？
It's no good. When she shuts herself in a room, she won't come out. Amane stayed shut in her room and wouldn't reply even when someone called out to her. The food that was set in front of her door went untouched.
ショックなことが書いてあったのね、きっと。
Yeah. Early this morning, Tobioka visited the Flying Fish Manor during the middle of the rain. He came to give Amane a letter.
これがその手紙だ。
Speaking of Tobioka, I actually really liked that last episode, but I guess no one else did because nobody else liked it. Like, there wasn't even a dislike, it was really weird.
これがイスカの。
Amane took the envelope with the letter from Tobioka.
何が書いてあるかは知らない。
The seal hadn't been broken.
どうしてすぐに渡してくれなかったんでしょうか。
美咲のご両親からお前と美咲を二度と会わせないよう言われていたからだ。私もそうするべきだと。これをお前に渡すことでお前にも美咲にも良い影響があるとは思えなかった。
そうですか。
すぐに忘れるだろうと思っていたんだ。若い連中の気持ちは移ろいやすい。すぐにまた新しいことを始めて、新しい友人とも出会って、美咲もお前も忘れるだろうって。
I just realized that it's raining inside.
それが一番いいと思っていたんだ。
Tobioka dropped the umbrella from his weak grasp at the entrance of the dorm, exposing himself to the ever-present rain. Oh, I guess it's supposed to be. I guess he's supposed to be outside the doorway, but it just looks like it's raining inside. Please come in. Watching from a little ways away, I urged him in without thinking, but Tobioka didn't move at all, as if he hadn't heard me at all. The rain continues to get Tobioka's clothes wet.
それなのにお前はやめなかった。あの薄暗いガレージにこもり続け、グライダーを作り続けた。
There was a hint of disapproval in Tobioka's voice. His glance seemed to be directed at Hamane.
留年までしてお前は。
That's it? Okay. Felt like those words were directed towards
だ
himself.
んだんと重荷になっていった。その手紙を預かり渡さなかったことが。だから私はお前たちを憎むことで。
Tobioka might have been crying, but with the rain I couldn't make out any tears.
すまなかった。
Soaking wet, Tobioka apologized. The sight of a remorseful and crying teacher bowing his head to his students seemed really awkward, but in some way he looked relieved. Like a weight that had been carrying for several years had finally been lifted from his shoulders. Amane opened Isuka's letter immediately after Tobioka left, with trembling hands. It was a final message to Amane from a friend that she thought hadn't left anything for her behind. Kodori and I were watching her closely. Amane's eyes opened wide in shock as she pored over the contents of the letter. An instant later, the light in her eyes vanished. The sparkling light that had always filled Amane's eyes like a little child suddenly vanished.
どうしたのあまねちゃん。
Without answering, she aimlessly started walking. Just like that, she climbed up the stairs. And Amane. And she shut herself up in her room. In the middle of the rain again, all the soaring club members gathered together.
そうなんだ。
I told Dageha, Asa, and the others about how Tobioka came this morning and gave the letter to Amane.
手紙にはなんて書いてあったんですか？
I don't know. Tobioka said he hadn't read it either.
じゃあ今部屋に閉じこもってるあの人しか知らないわけか。あまねちゃん、すごいショック受けてたみたいだった。
I remember seeing Amane's profile while she was reading the letter. In an instant, the sparkle in her eyes went out just like power being cut to a light.
手紙にはさ、イスカさんがどうしていなくなったのかが書かれてたんだよね。
Probably so.
だったら、あまねさんを気遣うことが書かれてるんじゃないんでしょうか。
Everyone fell silent. Everyone thought Asa was right, or at least wanted her to be right. Or least wanted, okay. Feels like it should be at least wanted. But from what I could tell from Amane's reaction, it didn't seem like it.
一体何が書いてあったんだろう。
Ageha gently stroked Kodori's head. Kodori was so worried about Amane, and she looked as if she was about to cry.
今は先輩が出てきてくれるのを待つしかないね。どのみちこの天気じゃ飛べないし。今日は夕方頃まで雨だって言ってましたね。
Kodori.
今日はお休みにしましょう。雨が止んであまねちゃんが復活したらテストを再開するからね。
Nobody objected to the club leader's plan. After the group dismissed, Kodori and I were getting ready to make dinner. It was still pretty early time-wise, but we didn't know what else to do, so we got started. Fortunately, tonight we're having stew. The earlier we make it, the better it'll taste.
はい、ハト、おやつよ。わっわ。
Kodori fed some vegetable scraps to Hat. As she watched him devour his treat, she muttered,
イスカはさ、どうしてハットをここに置いてったんだろう。
I wonder, she said her parents were strict, so maybe they wouldn't let her keep him.
うん。
Looking at the duck wearing a hat, Kodori went deep into thought. Gazed out the window as I stirred the pot. Miserable rain. That's mean. Rain is awesome. It started raining before dawn and was still coming down even now. You know, they said it was supposed to stop in the evening.
ねえ、イスカはどうして日誌を置いてったのかな。
I wonder.
モーニンググローリーの写真も日誌に挟んであった。
She probably just forgot about it, don't you think? And was in a secret hiding place when she left the Flying Fish Manor?
違うと思う。だって他には何も残ってなかったんですもの。
Well, she left the thing on the floor here.
一番大事なもの忘れていくとは思えないわ。
Maybe not. Oh, I had to sneeze. But then why did she leave without it?
知ってる？うちの寮ってパイ投げ禁止ってルールがあるの。
A no what? What does that even mean? Oh yeah, that's right. When I became the dorm mother, they gave me a list of things to watch out for, and that was on there.
あれってイスカがパイ投げしたからなのよ。他にもこないだタイムカプセル出てきたよね。
Yeah. Totally went deep into thought again.
探せばもっとあるんじゃないかしら。イスカの痕跡。
Well, I don't really want to go ripping the house apart. Maybe so. Totally started scanning her surroundings. I guess she's trying to look for some of those traces. Don't worry about it now. Let's just get to work.
はーい。
Looking unsatisfied, Kodri went back to cutting vegetables. Sound of the pot boiling, the vegetables being chopped, and the wind and rain echoed about the room. I was starting to get worried about the glider. It's been sitting on the runway since yesterday. There's a thing with Tobioka, so we weren't able to take it apart. I mean, I carefully covered it up with a sheet, but I wonder if it's been blown away. Actually, I wanted to gather it all into the garage by the end of today, but Anchan hadn't been around since this morning. We didn't have anywhere to way to carry it by ourselves with all this rain, so it's just sitting out there. It should be fine in a little bit of rain. I guess I'll go take a look in a little while. Once dinner is ready. After we finished preparing dinner, I left the dining hall and saw someone leaving through the entrance. Was that Kaneko? With that on my mind, I went to check on Amane when Kaneko came down the stairs from the second floor. Kaneko, and who was...
ねえ、葵くん。ちょっといいかな。
What is it?
さっき望月先輩の部屋の前でこんなの拾ったんだけど。
Kaneko pulled out a scrap of paper. It was a folded up sheet of loose leaf paper. I took it and
望
opened it.
月先輩が部屋から出てくる音がしたのね。だから様子を見に行ったんだけど。
It was Isuka's letter. I read the contents of the letter and understood. Understood the reason why the light like a starry sky, vanished from Amane's eyes in an instant.
どうしたの？二人とも。
Kotoki brought a hat out of the dining hall with her. Gave the letter to Kotoki with trembling hands.
何これ？
It's Isuka's letter. Seeing my pale face, Kotoki braced herself, and she skimmed over the contents of the letter.
何よこれ。
She was shocked. Amane just left her room a minute ago. I'm gonna go look for her.
私も。
You stay here and watch the phone. There might be a call. Tell Aza and the others about this and Agaya too. Could you get them to help look as well?
わかった。
Once I had told Kotoki what to do, I rushed outside.
あまね。僕はもうここにはいられそうもない。だから本当のことを話すね。僕は嘘つきだ。君のことを今まで騙し続けてきた。約束したよね。あの雲の回廊へ連れて行ってあげる。嬉しかった。君が信じてくれて。けどあれは嘘なんだ。僕は本当は信じていなかった。モーニンググローリーが来るなんて。20年以上起こってなかった現象が僕がいる今この時に起こってくれるなんて、そんな都合のいいことないって思ってた。あまねはよく言ってたよね。僕のことを天才だって。けど違うよ。本物の天才は君だ、あまね。僕は ちょっと人と違ったことをしているだけのただの普通の女の子。自意識過剰ってやつ。なのに君にすごいって言ってもらえるのが嬉しくって、もっと言ってもらいたくって、それで嘘をついたんだ。信じてもない夢を掲げて君を騙した。でもそのせいで君は大学へ行かず慶風学園に残ってしまった。僕の嘘は君をあのちっぽけなガレージにつなぎ止めてしまった。苦しいよ、あまね。君のそばにいたい、親友でいたい。そんな僕の身勝手さがあまねの人生を狂わせてる。辛くて苦しくて、少しでも何か形にしたくてグライダーで飛ぼうとしたけどダメだった。僕の翼は偽物だから飛べるはずなんてなかった。僕は卑怯者の嘘つきだ。恥ずかしい。消えてしまいたい。僕の最後のお願いを聞いてくれるかい？僕のこと忘れてください。それで君は本来君のいるべき場所へ行ってください。ごめんね、あまね。
I thought there had to be some kind of a reason. Some unavoidable circumstance. If not, I couldn't believe that Isuka would run off somewhere without me. But... Heavily falling rain beats against my body. Against this hopeless, stupid me. Surely there must be some kind of truth hidden there. Everyone will be rewarded for all those lonely days spent in that garage. Somewhere inside me, I'd been expecting that. I'm just a fool. Glider we left on the runway still had the sheet covering in and was being doused by the rain. Silhouette of the forward swept wing, fragment of the dream that Isuka and I had dreamt up. Well, I was the only one who felt that way. Suddenly I lost all the strength in my body. Before I knew it, I had fallen to my knees. Splashed loudly in the water puddles. I tied everyone down. This isn't a dream at all. It's a curse. With my powerless hands, I took the sheet off the glider. What appeared below was a dull-colored wing reflecting the dull rain clouds. Took aim at those wings with what? Hello? Is that a Gea?
Aoi? そっちどう?
She wasn't at the school.
となると
She didn't go home, then she must have gone there.
だね。私も行ってみる。
Alright, counting on you. Split up to look for Amane running about in the rain. She wasn't in the garage. I'm getting impatient. Just trying to imagine Amane's state of mind right now makes me feel a stabbing pain. That letter upset everything she knew, everything she believed, everything she held dear. Everything. Isuka herself to deny her own promise. After Isuka left, that was the only thing Amane relied on. That's how she made it this far. This is some awfully happy music for this. No matter what happened, the one thing she had tried to believe in was that she didn't want to lose Isuka. Last summer she aimed for the morning glory and failed, so she gave up on her dream once, but with all of us she wanted to aim for them again. After all that, why, damn it, the letter that I thought would save Amane betrayed and knocked her down. I ran, didn't care if I stepped in the puddles or got rained on. Ugh. Before I knew it, the rain had stopped. I ran through the bushes, hurrying towards the runway. Amane! I shouted at the top of my lungs as I ran down the runway, and mud splashed up at my feet. I could see the white aircraft in the distance. The sheet that I had covered the glider with had been taken off. Amane. Amane was there, and it looked like she was clinging to a wing that was laying on the ground. Amane? When I spoke to her, Amane suddenly lifted her hands into the air, then she hit the wing with a rock. Over and over again. Amane, what are you doing? I grab Amane from behind and try to pull her away from the glider. Calm down, Amane. I hold her tight while she kicks and struggles. Amane, please calm down. Amane's hands went limp. At the same time, the rock she was holding falls to the ground. I kept on holding her tightly and stroked her back, trying to calm her down. Amane. Aoya came running towards us from the distance. Behind her was Azanyaru, then Kori, and for some reason Anchan.
ここにいたんだ。あまねちゃん、泣いてるの？
Seeing Amane wrapped up in my arms, Kori anxiously says. Finding the area where Amane had been hitting the wing, Gaia runs up to us. There were countless scratches from the rock hitting it. Amane did it.
なんで？嘘でしょ？
I let go of her. Somehow she managed to stand on her own. We read Isuka's letter. I don't know what to say.
私のせいだ。私がいたせいで、イスカは。
Well, that's not true. Let's be honest, it kinda is true. Amane shook her head weakly.
鬼だったんだ。私のことが。イスカが私の人生を狂わせたんじゃない。その逆だ。
Well, okay, well, I'm not sure about that part.
それなのに私がバカみたいに約束にすがったせいで飛岡先生にも迷惑をかけて、このままだと君たちのことまで狂わせてしまう。だからこんな翼はもう折ってしまった方がいいんだ。
Okay, now you're just going a little crazy. Man, this nice music is playing a lot in this route. Amane attempts to pick up the rock again. Please stop. Grab her arm and stop her.
だってそうじゃないか。
Well, not completely.
私のせいで君たちはあのガレージに縛られ、
Okay, no, you're not right.
ずっと続けてきた。
Well, no, you're not right at all.
みんな嘘だったのに。
It's not a lie. No matter what Isuka thinks, it was a real dream for us. Everyone stares at Amane and nods. Her feelings are sincere. Amane's eyes are blank. The words don't reach her closed-off heart. The emotional trauma that Amane felt is much, much deeper.
私の思い込みがみんなを不幸にする。お願いだ、葵君。その手を離してくれ。
No.
葵君。
Amane grabs my arm tightly, looking up and pleading with me. If I don't let go, she won't be able to live normally. It's in such an urgent plea from within those blank eyes. I was about to be crushed by her extraordinary grief. What should I... How can I... Is holding her the only thing I can do? Is that all that lovers are good for in the end?
なあ、天音。ちょっといいか。
Anchan had been watching silently, but now he spoke up. Amane stops trying to get loose from me and turns her gaze towards him.
実は今日はお前に用事があって会いに来たんだ。
私。
Anchan nods his head.
こないだ朝ちゃんと夜ちゃんが教えてくれたよな。イスカがどこかの療養所にいるって。
Did they? I know they mentioned that there was one, but I don't think she mentioned which one.
行ってきたんだ。その療養所へ。
Did they? Did I miss something? Hold on. I thought they just mentioned that she was in a care facility and that's it. Like she was kind of not in a good place and that's it. That's it. That we just left. What? Everyone was surprised except Kotori. She nodded slightly.
五十嵐さんはそのことを教えに飛び魚荘に来てくれたの。
Why would he tell you? And you heard about Isuka's letter and brought Kotori here, huh?
岬家は地元の名士だろ。だから療養施設も近くにあるんじゃないかって考えたんだ。それでそれらしい場所をしらみつぶしに当たってみた。
You found it, so they didn't tell you which one. You... okay. Hanshan's expression neither confirmed nor denied my
イ
question.
スカがいたのは療養施設って言っても表向きは岬家の別荘だった。
イスカも
Hanshan shook his head. No way. She's already dead. I wasn't the only one who had such a bad feeling. Everyone else looked uneasy, but Hanshan had a gentle smile on his lips.
元気になって出て行った後だった。
じゃあ今どこにいるかは。
これから探そうと思ってるところだ。その前にあまねに報告しときたくてな。イスカはちゃんと無事だったって。
ありがとう達也。でももう。
手紙悪いが俺も読ませてもらった。ショックだったお前の気持ちよくわかるつもりだが、俺はなんとなく気づいてたよ。あいつが無理してるの。知ってるだろ、俺があいつのこと好きだったの。
Amane weakly shook her head.
初めて知った。
そうか。
イスカは元気になったのか。
Amane looked relieved, but somehow she also looked lonely.
退学した後イスカの体調は悪化し長期療養を余儀なくされたらしい。親ともうまくいってなかったようで、体調不良を理由に別荘に押し込められてほとんど軟禁状態だったようだ。
What good parents?
軟禁？
Misagi family is quite prominent in their area. Tobioka-sensei thinks the house arrest might have had something to do with worrying about the family's reputation.
イスカがそこを出て行ったのは今から半年ほど前。そのきっかけになったのがこれだそうだ。
Saying that Anshan took out a picture from his breast pocket. What do you mean by this, man? Look at that. Look at that glider right there. You can see each individual pixel on that glider. Man, that is not quite as high quality as the other stuff in the background. That was a familiar picture of the clouds. It was a picture looking up at a road of clouds crossing the sky. Alright, 1 year ago we flew in those clouds. Amane found something in those clouds. I noticed it after her. How could you not notice the glider? It's pretty easy to see. Beneath the glowing orange clouds, there was a small bird-like shadow. Yes, small, okay. Oh, suddenly it looks better quality, okay. Our glider.
岬家の別荘は湖のそばにあった。ここからだとちょうど反対側でだいぶ遠いがな。去年の夏、不思議な雲を見たイスカはお手伝いの人と湖まで行き、そしてそこで雲の回廊を目指すグライダーを見つけたそうだ。
Amane was gazing at the scene in the picture. In the same way the rest of us were also staring at that familiar scene. The sky we flew in 1 year ago.
見てたんだ、イスカも。私たちが見てたように。
This picture was the reason she left that house, and that
そこの
means...
管理人の人が言うには、それまでイスカは何もかも諦めてたらしい。まるで世捨て人みたいにな。けどその光景をお前たちがあの雲を目指して飛ぶ姿を見て変わったって言ってた。療養に専念し体力をつけ、そして両親を説得し、ようやくそこを出られたのが半年前というわけだ。
不思議な偶然があるものね。本当に偶然かしら。え？姉さんも同じようにあの雲と出会い、そしてグライダーを見つけた。それはいつも空に焦がれて空を見上げていたからよ。私は違った。姉さんがいなければきっとここにはいなかった人間。イスカさんは多分姉さんと同じ。いつも空を見上げてた。
Yuga nods quietly.
偶然かもしれないけれど、その偶然と出会えたのはそれを求めていたからなのね。
Is it? I mean, I feel like it would be hard to miss something like that. Even if you weren't looking at the sky, you'd be like, oh, what is... Oh, hey, look at that. She could meet with such a miraculous coincidence all because she single-mindedly pressed on and aimed for the clouds. Would you call that a coincidence? Yeah, I would, actually.
ありがとう、達也。少しだけ救われたよ。
あまね。
みんなもありがとう。翼を傷つけてごめん。
Amane laughed sadly.
イスカが無事でよかった。また歩き出してくれて本当によかった。これで私も忘れられる。忘れるって何を？イスカのこと？あ、それとグライダーのことも。
Amane speaks apologetically.
そんな。
Amane, why? That day that we flew wasn't for
イ
nothing.
スカの望みは私の中から消えること。それに私はやっぱりみんなと同じ夢は見られそうにない。あまね先輩、私はイスカがどこを目指しているのか、どうしてそこへ行きたいのか知りたかった。この世界が彼女にはどんな風に見えているのか、それが知りたかったんだ。でも嘘だった。そのことに変わりはないだろう。だからもう飛ぶ理由がない。
Might be just like Amane says. For Amane, the Morning Glory wasn't something she was aiming for herself. It was just a promise with Isuka. Amane wanted to know so much more about her, that's why she was trying so hard. The letter destroyed that whole premise. Amane lost her reason to try. What she said to us when we looked to her for help and advice, still ring in my ears. Can't share the same dream as all of you anymore. Wanting Amane to fly was our hope, not Amane's.
本当にそうなのかな。
Kodori sighed.
本当にそれがイスカの望みなのかな。どういうことだい？だってあの手紙にはそう書いてあったじゃないか。
The letter didn't seem to say that she lied to Amane because she was worried about her. Isuka would have certainly known how much that letter would hurt Amane. But it had to be written. She had so many feelings of guilt about telling a lie.
それだけじゃない。イスカは私たちの始まりになったモーニンググローリーの写真をガレージから持ち去った。壊れたグライダーと空っぽの写真立ては私に夢を捨てろっていうメッセージだったんだ。
Well, that's a heck of a thing to come to the conclusion of. Okay. If she wanted Amane to hang on to her dreams, I think she would have left the picture. But Kodori says...
それがイスカの本心だったって私思えないの。
Everyone looks at Kodori. Now I know what Kodori is trying to say. But I want her to say something, some words that we can believe in, that tell us that what we have held dear wasn't a mistake, something along those lines.
私ね、イスカの気持ちが少しわかるの。イスカって体が弱かったのよね。自分がいつ死ぬかもしれないって思ってて、学校もよく休んでたんでしょ。だからいつか自分はここからいなくなるかもしれない、そんな風に思ってたんでしょ。
ああ、そうだ。
私も似たようなものだったから。
I don't remember you thinking you were gonna die. Kotori grabbed the hem of her skirt tightly, trying to endure embarrassment. From that, we all knew she was trying to open up to us about her difficult past.
私こんなだから学校に馴染めなくて友達もできなくて、それでよく休んでて。
That sounds a lot less intense than skipping school because you're probably gonna die.
どんどん孤立していって、毎日毎日全然楽しくなくて、生きてるのも嫌になるくらい辛くって、一度本当に学校を辞めようとした。葵くんやアゲハやあまねちゃんたちと出会ってなかったらきっとそうなってた。
Whoops.
似てるからわかるの、イスカの気持ち。
Kotori was speaking so passionately, Agia moved closer and rested a hand on Kotori's shoulder. As if that hadn't given her some courage, Kotori began speaking
イ
again.
スカは何かを残したかったと思うの。この場所を去る前に何か自分がここにいたって証を。だってたくさん残ってるじゃない、イスカがいた痕跡が。
Strange rules of the Flying Fish Manor, the duck named Hat, the time capsule, the flight log, and Kotori's room in the glider. If we looked for more, surely many more would pop up.
私ずっとイスカが変な子だからいっぱい残ってるんだと思ってたけど、違うかもしれないって思うようになった。私の部屋にあったあのノート、イスカのフライトログ、あれは忘れていったんじゃない。誰かに読んでほしくてそこにしまってあったの。イスカはきっと知っててほしかったんだと思う。ミサギイスカって女の子がそこに生きてたんだってことを。空を見上げてあの綺麗な雲を目指してたんだってことを。だからあの写真も一緒に挟んでおかなきゃいけなかった。自分たちが目指した場所を見てもらうために。
Without that picture, it wouldn't have just been a diary that some strange girl had forgotten. A picture with its magnificent and beautiful scene that can captivate your heart at first glance and breathe life into the diary. There's no mistake that it was a necessary detail to Isuka. And without that, Kotori wouldn't have named for this guy. Isuka herself must have found... What? Must have found a picture in an old... The picture? Okay. In an old Soaring Club flight log in that garage, which made her aimed for this guy.
そう確信したのはついさっきよ。五十嵐さんが持ってきてくれた写真、イスカは療養所に残していったんでしょ。
ああ、空っぽの部屋の壁を埋め尽くすようにたくさんの雲の写真が貼ってあった。
What a weirdo.
まるでそこを訪れた人に自分が得た感動を伝えようとするみたいに。
イスカは寂しかったんだと思う。親友と別れを告げ、誰からも忘れられてしまうのが。せめて誰でもいいから知っててほしかった。だからトビウオソウの部屋にノートを残したの。あそこなら次に入ってくるのは同年代の女の子だもの。でも自分からはそうしてほしいって言えない子だったのよ、きっと。私も似たところあるからわかるの。
Kotori sounded embarrassed. She held her hand to... she held the hand her sister had put on her... What? Okay, I guess. Just trying to say something. But now she sounded different, like she was confirming that she has friends who could say the same thing.
でも本当に覚えててほしかったのは顔も知らない誰かじゃない。イスカが残りたかったのはやっぱりあまねちゃんの中なのよ。いつか自分が死んでいなくなってもあまねちゃんが覚えててくれればいい。たとえ信じていなくてもあまねちゃんにモーニンググローリーを見せたかった気持ちは嘘じゃないはずよ。 あの綺麗な雲を一緒に眺めて同じ感動を共有したかった。だってそれはきっと一生忘れられない記憶になる。
Before I noticed it, tears were welling up in Kotori's eyes. It was as if Isuka's thoughts had been transferred to Kotori.
私がもし明日学校を去らなければならないとしたらそうしたい。ここにいるみんなの心に一番キラキラしてた頃の私が残っててほしいって思うもん。小鳥先輩。1年前の私はそう思える相手さえいなかった。けど葵くんやアゲハやあまねちゃんと出会って、グライダーと出会って、それから朝や夜や五十嵐さんや飛び要素のみんなや生徒会長やアゲハの妹ちゃんやたくさんの人と出会って、今最高に幸せよ。イスカもきっとそうだったと思う。約束が嘘でもあまねちゃんや五十嵐さんと飛びたかった気持ちは嘘じゃないはずなの。
Even with Kotori's tear-filled eyes staring at her, Amane didn't flinch. Amane, how was it? You think the time you spent with Isuka was a lie? Amane shook her head silently.
でも私は
Hanging her head down, she made a face like she didn't know what to do and bit her lip hard. Amane was trembling, like she was frightened. She wants to start walking, but is too afraid to start. That's how she looked. That music scared me. There's no way Isuka's a liar. Amane raised her head and looked at me. The only one who can prove that is you, Amane.
私が証明する。
I nodded. Then I moved next to the glider. With the wings that you designed for Isuka to aim for those clouds
でも
together.
それは
You should fly Amane with this glider and pass through the passage of clouds.
そっか。先輩が約束を果たせば嘘は嘘じゃなくなるんだ。
Well, I guess that's true. Let's fly Amane to prove that Isuka isn't a liar. We're gonna take you to the place that you promised.
ええ。いい考えね。お手伝いします。みんな。
Amane looked at everyone dumbfounded, and she nodded timidly.
連れて行ってくれ。私をあの雲の向こうへ。
An orange ray of light pierced through the sky from the west. Well, those clouds sure went away fast.
いつの間にか空が晴れてき
Yeah,
てま
that was
す。
fast. Just as the weather report said, the rain stopped by evening and the clouds cleared up. And the setting sun was poking through the gaps in the clouds that had formed. Bathed in that light, the wet glider glistened red like it was on fire, as if it had come back to life. Kotori looked at the sky in the opposite direction of everyone else and opened her eyes wide.
あっちの空。
Everyone looked at where Kotori was pointing. What was there was...
空が青く染まってる。
Eastern sky was a bluish purple, but isn't the wing kind of like... Did she just scratch it a little with the rock, or did she actually do any damage?
綺麗な空。まるで朝焼けみたいです。ねえ、葵、あれって。
Yeah. We all gazed dumbfounded at the sight. It was a sight we'd been waiting to see for a year. The sky we had yearned and prayed for. It's come at such a timing. Look at Amane standing next to me. Amane stared at that sunset sky as if she were seeing something that she didn't believe
去
in.
年の夏もここで見た。
There's no mistaking it, is there?
お、どうしたんですか、皆さん。もしかしてあれが前に言ってた。
Yeah, it's a sign. It was a miraculous coincidence, but for all of us who had been anxiously looking up at the sky day after day, it was only inevitable. It's coming tomorrow morning, the morning glory. Isuka Namine's promise day. Well, that's going to be all for today, so thank you for watching. Goodbye. I guess we'll go to the next thing, see if there's a cliffhanger. Boy. Gotta stretch after all that hard work. Okay, well, I don't want to see that when I come back next time, so let's go to the next one.
あんたよく食べるわね。
Alright, there we go. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.